Didn't read. What the fuck?
Welcome back to the Roadrunner and White Devil show. Here we are. It's been a while since we've been before you with any content. We've been in stiff negotiations with our third partner here that we just brought in, Bob. I guess hey, yes, excuse us. Bob, yes, over here. Is there something you'd like to say to our audience? Outstanding. We're so happy to hear that from you.
Yeah, you're a great commentator, Bob.
What's going on? Bob is a little bit on the shy side, okay, but he's standing strong.
He's definitely a valuable member of the show.
He is, and he is there supporting us in where we're going and the direction that we're going in. Now, with that being said, there's a lot of things that we've been trying to work on and that we've been trying to move forward on as well.
Okay.
So what is the next thing? Is it the state of the path?
Yeah, the state of the path. Tell our listeners what's going on with your YouTube channel, what direction you're trying to take it, where you're at as far as subscribers, maybe. Yeah, just tell us how you're doing. Tell us what you're working on.
All right, let's rock that out, runner. Okay, right now I'm at a hefty level of 9 subscribers. I thank you all. I hope that the channel will continue to grow and to excel. I've been doing more shorts because they seem to be viewed more frequently. The other thing,
didn't you show me the other day that you had like 240 views within like maybe a day period on one of your shorts?
Yes, and what amazes me with that though is only 1 subscriber. And the reason why I keep mentioning about the subscriber is because we're trying to get the message out there to as many people as we can. So it's exciting to see that it is being viewed. It's a little concerning that more people aren't willing to drop by the path and to walk on the path and to be a part of this community. But then again, that's part of the reason why we're here and you're here with us. Okay, so with the path, we're moving forward. What we're trying to do is install links with the video. So if you're new to the path, you will find us, or you will have the information so you could go and experience the Roadrunner and White Devil show, and also the White Devil's realm, if you so choose. So those are things that we're working on. Yes, Bob. I'm sorry. Excuse us, Bob. Yes. No, they do understand. They know that you're going to be in the background for a while and that you're a little shy. Okay, so that was Bob chiming in. He's a little quiet when he speaks. So
yeah, unfortunately, he's supposed to be. The devil and I brought him in mostly to be a behind-the-scenes sort of guy. Yeah, because this is his first show. He's a little bit excited. He wanted to put his 2 cents in, but he doesn't speak loud enough. He doesn't have a voice for radio, would you say?
Well, Runner, we're here for everyone.
Of course.
Doesn't matter what's going on. We're here, and we're here to help. Just like on the path, just like on the Roadrunner and White Devil show.
So tell them, tell the listeners where they can find you, how to get to the path, your YouTube channel. Maybe if you have it available, give them an email where they can maybe send you some comments. I know they can directly comment on the channel.
Yes.
And, you know, the devil's made sure, I mean, he hasn't gotten a lot of them yet, but when he gets the comments, he makes sure to read through them. And if someone has a question, comment, or whatever, he reads every one. And, you know, you ask him something about himself, you ask him something about this show, or anything going on, or maybe a topic you'd like him to discuss. He's a listener. And then that's the other thing too. The devil and I, we went and we built our own business card. So the
We
devil, when he's out and about, whether it's at work, having breakfast, lunch or dinner with me, or just pedaling around town, if he sees somebody that maybe looks like they can use the help, he gives them the card. And yeah, that's what we're trying to do.
It's easiest to spot me because I'm the good-looking guy with the beard. I stand out. I know it's amazing to even say that, but I do. And if you see me, please come up, introduce yourself. Let me know if you've been with us on Roadrunner and White Devil show, or the Devil's Realm, or the Path, or any other.
Yeah, so
Yes.
kind of off topic, but
Yes.
so you and I had breakfast on Saturday, right? We had breakfast at that local place.
Yes, we did.
So then I went ahead and had breakfast with my former in-laws, and as some of the listeners may or may not know, yes, I still get along with my former mother-in-law and father-in-law. We have breakfast at least once a week if they're not dealing with this crap that's going on in the world right now. But that same waitress that took our order,
Yes,
she came back to me.
she did.
Well, while I was sitting there with my former in-laws,
Yes.
and she goes,
Who was that ugly guy?
yeah, who was that other guy?
Yeah.
And I totally spaced it when I thought I should have said, have you seen him on YouTube? Because I think if she would have said yes, then she would have known exactly who you are and what you've been doing. But I just wanted to bring that up, that you looked very familiar to her, and yeah, man, I think it's a step in the right direction.
Well, we've been in there before, and we've ate in that restaurant before. Maybe it was because of that, or maybe because I requested a certain booth to sit at.
Maybe.
Or maybe it was just because I'm so damn good looking that she had to find out. Hey, baby.
Well,
I've
already told you this. That's a married woman, and I know you don't cross that line.
No, we don't do that. We're good boys over here. We don't do.
So tell them where they can find your channel there, Devil.
Okay, you can find The Path on YouTube. The best way to do it is you get on your smartphone, whatever phone you have, you go to YouTube, and you go to the little magnifying glass, and you type in "Let's Do Life Together," and you will definitely see me there.
He definitely stands out.
Yes, I do.
He's already mentioned his beard, and if you find someone with a beard talking about life circumstances and things like that, you're probably in the right place. So, what else you want to talk about? Some current events, right?
Current events. We're rocking right here. So what the hell's going on with the rest of the world?
Well, I know there's that thing going on in Europe with between Russia and Ukraine.
Isn't that a difficult position that everyone seems to be in at this time?
It is, and for the most part, the things that you and I were viewing probably right before we started recording, from Fox News was disturbing video footage of areas that have been bombed out in Ukraine.
Okay, I think that brings up another issue, but a similar one. So if you have any relatives, any loved ones over there, any concerns about anything that's going on like that, please send us a message, get on my channel, get on our channel, and voice those, and we will do our best to help you through this difficult time that we're all unfortunately facing. And things like this will happen, and it's out of our control, our understanding to some degree or not. But we want to be there to help and to basically be there for people if they want us, or if they're seeking some safe haven that they could come to us. We're here. And we have different platforms that we already mentioned. This one is more about what's going on, what's on our minds, what we're doing. And we're speaking to you, coming to you as if you're sitting at this table before us. And we're just drinking coffee, talking, and socializing together. And the White Devil's Realm, that's a little bit of a different subject.
It's a piece of fiction that the devil and I kind of hash together, but it's more the devil's material, and it's going to be a long, drawn out story. Um, Down the road, there'll be the runner involved in that story, main plot line. We might have a few other special characters, but right now we're in the beginning stages of it. So if you like a little different story, um, the devil's a pretty good storyteller. So yeah, please tune in. Welcome to the Devil's Realm. We've got episode 1 out there. So if you haven't yet listened to it, be sure to catch that first episode, so you'll kind of get an idea of what direction the devil is taking the realm.
Now, Runner, I have already asked you. I don't remember. I need to write it down. But where can they find us for the podcast? We're on Speaker.
So we're on Spreaker, which is like the default podcast where we upload to. We're on Spotify. We're on Google Podcast. We're on Apple Podcast. I don't even know I can't even pronounce that name of the one that's the main one
over in India.
Yeah.
Well, there's one in India. So if you have any relatives
I know it starts with a J, but yeah. But I think we can hit on this a little bit more during the show.
Of course.
I think. Yeah, we'll touch on it when I have a little bit more information in front of me. But to finish off and touch on Ukraine, I understand civilians are getting targeted and killed. The president there has had 3 assassination attempts against him. I don't know where. I know we've had a few listeners, if the demographics on the Spreaker program had showed us right. But we did have a few listeners in Russia, and this podcast is for everyone, regardless of your location. Now, I know there's been a lot of protesters in Russia protesting what the Russian president has been doing. So if you tune in and listen, and if you have a comment, if you're against it or for it, or give us your take. We're not the judge, jury, or executioner. We would like to know your perspective. Is that about accurate, Devil?
Well, that's true. We really don't get into the political realm or anything along those lines, but we did feel that it was important to touch on the subject because you may be here in the U.S. and you may have relatives over there, and that may be an extremely difficult time for you to try to cope with what's going on. That's part of the reason why we felt it was important to bring this up. Please feel free to come to us. We are here for you, and we will do what we can to help you through this difficult time as well.
Now they gave you got a little bit of news last week in regards to the mask mandate as far as your kids go. You have the details on that? Because I'm just sick and tired of it enforcing kids to wear masks.
So my understanding in California, in the schools or in the region where they are, if I understand correctly, recall correctly, they do not have to wear the mask. So from this point forward, we will see, again, another difficult position, not to the degree as what's going on over in the other part of the world, but everyone is going through a difficult time. It's going to be like that for quite some time in the future. We want to be there. Okay, so either you're for the mask, against it, what have you. We understand. We're not going to get into that subject either. We're just merely commenting on things that we see
Yeah,
that we feel that may be an interest
kind of
to you. Yeah,
kind of keeping up with current events. You
well, of
know,
course.
the devil and I, like he was saying, we won't. Him and I both know each other's political view, but we're not diving into politics. That's not what this podcast is about. It's just the two of us having a good time trying to bring different and interesting perspectives to you, the listeners. Um, and I know, the mask, it hints at politics, but I'm not naming names, I'm not thinking, but I'm just grateful that they finally decided to, let your kids breathe finally.
Well, it's like anywhere else. I had to go to a store today. Actually, I had to pay for my car insurance and went in there, and I think I was the only one that had a mask on. I asked the lady behind the partition what was going on. She said, "Hey, they lifted that." I said, "Okay." So I took mine off, and it's going to take time. Hopefully, this is a great sign for this situation in this part of the world that things are starting to improve and move forward and get better. We can only hope and believe things will continue to progress, move on in a better direction. Now, this podcast here should be the type of thing where you're at home, put your feet up, turn us on,
Yeah,
and
whether
relax.
whether
That's what
it's
it's about.
through the laptop with a Bluetooth or through the Bluetooth speaker, or
Yeah.
maybe you got a set of earbuds that you don't want anybody interrupting, or you don't want to disturb anyone while you're listening. Yeah, tune us in to tell a story. It's kind of similar to yours,
Okay.
but it's
Hit
kind,
me with the runner.
but it's kind of opposite. And
Okay.
I already talked to you about this a little bit earlier today. Um, so I was in the DMV. I had to renew my registration, right?
Yeah.
I walked in there without a mask.
Were you a lawbreaker?
No, because there was no signs
So you're a
posted on the
good boy
door
then. Yes.
saying, masks required.
Okay.
I figured since it was a government building that they would probably still have that in effect.
Well, who knows
But
at
it's
this point?
it's a state-run government building.
Okay.
Some of the employees had masks on.
So it's kind of
But
whatever you're
it was
comfortable with.
it was just kind of opposite of what you experienced. There was
Okay.
about 75% of the people, of the customers in there wearing masks.
Well, there you go.
But you know what? I didn't catch none of those evil stares, or, you're invading my space without a mask, blah blah blah. I didn't get
Yeah.
any of those the stink eyes. You know what I'm saying? So
Well,
I think society is going back to normal, and I'm grateful for it. And yeah, the sooner I can burn my mask, the better.
you might be holding on to that for quite some time because this thing might go up and down for a while.
All right.
But I totally understand where you're coming from. And, speaking of these Bluetooth speakers, what an awesome thing, man. Runner,
Yeah.
kind of talked me into getting the speaker when we were at the store 3 days ago.
I
And
didn't
this thing-
necessarily talk you into
Well,
it because you had an
I
idea.
was thinking of it, and you were helping me with it.
You had an
There you
idea
go.
based upon me using the Bluetooth in my car.
Yes.
And you're like, do they make speakers for that? And then I went and showed you, and you're like, sold, basically. So
Sold, baby.
yeah. And
These
I'm glad
things are cool.
I'm glad it's came in handy. And have you had a chance to use the charger on it, or?
Yep, had charged it this morning. Couldn't believe it because So what I do is in the morning, I'll put on a channel on YouTube, put the phone down, and I can listen to it through the speaker instead of listening to the radio, which I think is a better use of my time because I'm trying to find things that we can use to bring to your attention. And then once you're back at your location, if you want to listen to music or what have you, it's a great idea. Someone had an amazing idea with
Oh
these
yeah,
things.
oh yeah. I mean, like I was saying, I mean, the radio I have in my car is factory, but it's factory Bluetooth, so I can listen to a regular radio station, or as you've seen, I can pop up a YouTube video. Although I'm not watching it, most of the time it's music that I'm listening to,
Yeah.
and then I have quite an extensive library of music. And
That's
unfortunately
yeah.
for you as listeners, we can't play it on the channel because
Nope.
we get copyright striked and all that stuff. And
Well, we can blame Bob on that.
yeah,
But
yeah,
I don't think he'd be digging that. He's kind of looking at me kind of crossways, right?
Bob,
But it's okay.
Bob, it's your first day. Stop giving the stink eye.
That's right. What's wrong with you, boy? Well, these speakers are amazing because it's like, I don't think anyone's buying DVDs anymore or CDs or whatever.
You know what?
Right?
There used to be. This was when I was probably 12 to 15.
Oh, the Walkmans.
Well, they had the
Aren't
Walkmans.
those freaking cool? Yeah.
But there was also this, I think it was called Boo Boo's, but it was a record store in San Luis Obispo. And they had the vinyl, dude. I mean, if somebody has a serious collection of vinyl now from like back in the 60s and 70s.
Maybe worth some money right
Oh,
there.
yeah. But have you noticed, I mean, over there in that electronics section, they're bringing vinyl back.
Now, do you remember Licorice Pizza?
No, I do not. I don't like the taste of licorice anyway.
It wasn't a pizza place. It was a
Oh.
place where you could go to buy records.
Oh, where was that at?
It was a music store. It was on Upper State Street.
Okay.
And it was in business for quite some time. And then, of course, with technology running its course, I think it just
Yeah, I remember
went out of
there was 8 tracks, then cassettes.
Yeah.
And then, if you look at the movie industry,
Yeah.
you had the VHS tapes.
Oh, wasn't that cool? Because they had stores that you could go into and you could actually rent the movies.
Yeah, Blockbuster.
Yeah, there you go.
There was another one, another major brand, but I forget. I digress. I'm getting up there in age, and I'm kind of dating
I'm
the
sorry
devil.
that you're getting up there in age. I feel.
So going back to music. Funny story.
Sit down. Yes.
Funny story for the listeners.
Hit us with it.
So, the devil and I got together Tuesday night to, hash out whether or not we were going to bring Bob on board. It was basically the final decision, the final conversation. And we pulled up to a stoplight on the corner of a major intersection.
Oh, here we go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
There is this woman
Good
there.
night.
Dancing to the beat of her own drum.
Oh, we're dancing all right.
And, I'm waiting on the light to change. There was oncoming traffic. But I had also tried to tune in some music. And the devil's like, get out of here. Don't play that shit. No, she doesn't need encouragement.
She does not need encouragement.
I just thought that was the funniest thing. Not necessarily
Let's run,
this woman, because she could have had something wrong with her, and if she does, I feel very bad for that. But it was the devil's reaction to what I was trying to get done, because he did not want to see that. So
it was something you didn't want to see.
Yeah, okay. So he said that image was stuck in his head. So I wanted to bring that up. It's a funny story. It just shows the devil is human. He's got a sense of humor. He can take it as well as he can give it. But it was just the funniest thing to me. To see his reaction. I mean, I wasn't necessarily looking at his face to see if it started to turn red from embarrassment, but he had that kind of that laugh,
time to go,
that nervous laugh that you have to hear to know.
Oh, good night on that. Hurt me like that, son. But she enjoys what she does, and she dances in front of one restaurant. We went to that restaurant. We were waiting on food. And I mentioned to the lady behind the counter, the girl, I said, hell,
you should get her a sign.
Should give her a sign. That's advertisement. And, let her have a free meal or give her a little bit of money to help her out. Because she's always in front of your store. Why not help her?
Yeah, I mean, she seemed to be in a great mood. I mean, I didn't sense any hostility with her. So, she wasn't scary to me. I mean, was she scary to you? Well,
She
maybe
wasn't
in,
scary.
in, in another way, she was scary to the devil. Because I think she had eyes for the bearded man.
Well, when you're this damn good looking, it's just, it's good to have fans. It's always nice to have fans.
So, what would you like to talk about next, there,
Let's
devil?
see what we have on our list of what we need to bring up. Okay, what are we doing with? Well, we have the devil and the private dancer. We got that. The runner's report. Hit me with
All
this.
right, all right. The runner's report. Item 1 on the list. This goes back to one of the devil's favorite topics: men with purses.
Oh,
We
good
might have discussed a little bit of that, hinted on that last episode. Re-listen to it.
I'm gonna have to sit down for this one.
Let us know if we did. So, because I'm pretty sure we did discuss this. So, all last week prior to, because this was actually set up. Our list of things to talk about was set up on Friday of last week.
Yes.
But so the week leading up to that, Monday through Thursday,
Uh-huh.
I had been thinking about, or not necessarily thinking about, but knowing what we had talked about, some of the topics we had talked about.
Yes.
I experienced them, and that goes to the first one. So many of you may or may not know I'm a delivery driver. I'm not going to pimp their brand because they ain't paying me.
No pimping.
They ain't sponsoring this. So until they do, they're shit out of luck.
There you go.
So I had picked up an order from a coffee shop, and give me a minute. I gotta have some coffee.
Coffee is good.
Picked up an order and was walking back to my car when I see this young lady, and what it appeared initially was a feminine-looking person walking next to her, and I thought maybe short-haired friend, female friend. And as I got closer, I mean, Keith can tell by my glasses that in order for me to see, I actually have to use these glasses. So as I got closer to this person, I noticed it was a dude, and I noted this person had a man purse. What are your thoughts on that, devil?
Well,
No, I don't know. Tell the listeners.
Telling you what you're going to be doing here, boy. You just give me a second. I had to stagger up out of the chair with disbelief running across my mind. I don't get that. Okay, there's a celebrity or two, I believe it was a few years ago, that actually had one, and I think that was the reason why it's such a big craze now. I believe, if I understand correctly, over in Europe, it's a common thing. Here, don't really think so. I don't understand it. I don't get it. If that's your thing, that's your thing. Okay, I'm happy for you. Chime in. Hit us with the comment on why it's such a big thing. It's almost like now you have the guy with the purse on, with his nails painted, this hair up in the bun, is, I'm guessing, chick beside him, carrying a little freaking ankle biter dog that can't sit.
Hey man, you're gonna spoil the runner's report. Wait up, man.
Yes, Siri, do you have something to say? Okay, I guess we're good on that one. Okay, so hit us with the next one.
It comes up to just what you mentioned: canines and carts.
Canines and carts. Well,
it ties into the. So I sent you that picture right after I took it.
Wasn't that amazing?
So I had picked up at a local grocery store.
Was the dog injured?
Standing on all four legs, as far as I know. No.
Was the owner injured?
No, but this woman. And I had to take a picture of it because I had to prove it to the devil. He'd be like, no, you're bullshitting me, Hey, the proof is in the picture. And I said, zoom in on the cart. So if he zoomed in on the cart, there was this big, full-size pit bull inside the cart. So I mean, this woman didn't look very big.
Yeah, and she had to pick that.
And she had to pick that big muscular dog up.
And put it in the cart to make sure it's safe.
So while I was in that same grocery store,
Yep.
you and I had talked about, full grown ass men carrying around these little poodles and chihuahuas and things like that in their arm like they're a little baby or whatever. Saw one of those too.
So was it in a stroller this time?
No, the man had it cradled in his arm, and it's like, what?
Was it wearing like its own little
sweater vest? Yep.
Hey,
it was wearing a sweater vest.
Have the clothes on it.
Because there was so many people where I was at, I wasn't about to take a picture, because there would have been too many people in the shot, and
Kind of have to let that one go.
Yeah. So you'll just kind of have to take my word for it, and.
It's almost a similar thing where you see some dude, he's freaking totally tatted down, acting, walking like a badass, and he has some tiny little chihuahua under his arm, and he's walking on a leash. It's like, dude.
Orale.
You said that, not me.
Yeah, I know.
So, it's kind of like, what message, what's going on there?
Yeah.
Okay, now I understand if that's your chick's dog or whatever. Cool. But I just struggle with understanding this whole concept because for me, it's like, it's a dog, it's not a child. It's a dog, it's not a child.
Yeah.
I love dogs. I get, but it's not a child.
Yeah, well, so that leads me,
was it actually, excuse the interruption, Runner, was it actually one of those service animals?
No.
Because it could be a service animal for the owner that has
Nope.
Okay. Was the nails of the dog painted?
No, but that brings me to
here we go.
Something similar. So I was what place was I in?
You were in the den.
I was in it was either a restaurant picking up some food for myself.
And the dog was sitting out
No. This kind of goes back to the man purse kind of situation. Well, anyways, this kid that helped me.
Yes.
And we discussed this before about painted fingernails. Well, I know he wasn't a catcher, maybe not in a literal sense.
But I don't know what he's been trying to be catching. Okay.
Pink fingernail polish. And he was a dude. And I was like, oh, man. I was like, let me get my stuff and get out of here. So there goes
Did you ask him where he has nails done?
No. I mean, if you needed that information, Devil, I could have got it for you.
I'm just curious, what would possess a person go, hey, I need to have my nails done.
I mean,
it never really runs across my mind.
That's not my thing either, man.
Now, if I had a girlfriend,
it
would be running across my mind going, okay.
Yeah.
Here's a gift certificate, or I'm going to surprise you, take you to this place so you can have your nails done. I could get that.
Yeah, that's the extent, I mean, even some of these man purse carrying dudes go into a spa for like that mud treatment on their face and, the cucumber slices on their eyes and all that stuff.
Hey.
It's like, you know what? Give me a good facial cleaner, a good soap, nice hot shower, and I'm good.
I don't know about any damn facial cleaner. You're going to have to explain that one to me there.
No, you know how they make body soap?
Yeah.
That's all I mean by it, man.
Oh, okay. Hey, well, it's good to stay clean and fresh and
of course,
presentable for the ladies out there.
Absolutely. So that brings me to the next subject of the runner's report. As I mentioned this to you as an irritant to me, and I think you had put your 2 cents in, and I don't know if we brought it up our last show or not, but I'm going to ask you this, point out, and then I'll touch on it. What is the purpose of a belt, Devil?
Purpose of a belt?
Yes.
Well, it's to keep your pants secured to your waist so they don't fall down to your ankles.
Okay.
I think.
So that leads me to another situation last week.
No, we're just falling in love with these little
I had
gems that you're coming
yeah.
up with all
You
over
know,
the
these
place.
are real
Barry.
stories, and I'm kind of glad I experienced them because we give the listeners some content.
Hey,
So I had finished working,
yep.
and I was actually probably watching a YouTube video before I went inside a store, and this kid, and I call him kid because there's a lot of people in this area that are younger than the devil and I. You may not be able to know because we're so good looking, but that's
right.
that's a different that's a different show in all itself, or a different point to make. But he
hit me with it, son.
you could see his whole not his whole ass, but where his ass would be had he been not wearing drawers, man. Because it's like, what the? I mean, is that even a thing anymore? I thought that thing phased out back in like early 2000, maybe 2010 at the latest, man.
It was a thing for a while. I don't understand. Apparently, these guys were thinking that it was a hot thing that women would enjoy, I'm assuming. I never thought it looked good. I never thought it showed
You know what it?
you in an appropriate light.
You know what it looked like to me? It's like somebody dropped a huge, massive dump in their pants, and that's what dragged them down.
Hey.
And it's like, how appealing is it, devil, to have to reach down past your knee to grab your wallet out of your back pocket?
How can you not know that? Yeah, well, you know what? Again, it's a kid.
I mean, to each is his own, I guess. It's a thing that bugs me, but I just wanted to bring it to light so our listeners can kind of get an idea of how I think, get your view on it, and get them to learn how you think about things. Okay, final thing.
Final thing?
Final thing for the runner's report.
Yes.
I noticed, and when we went to dinner on Tuesday night, and we were coming back towards the den, right?
Yes.
We were at the corner of the main street and another main street that crossed it, and on the left side corner is a gas station that I frequent. And I had swore on that day, that's the normal place I get energy drinks and my chewing tobacco, but that the cost of gas was $4.39 a gallon.
It's just going to continually go up.
When we were sitting at that light, I noticed it was $4.59 a gallon. I'm like, no way! What in the world? So a day later, it was time for me to get gas, and I pull into this gas station
because that's where you're used to going.
Yeah. And
comfortable with being there.
Yeah, I like the people behind the counter, especially a couple of the ladies. That's another story anyway.
Really? So yes,
it was
my full attention.
I pull in there and it's like $4.79 a gallon.
Oh yeah,
and I'm like, what the hell? Pull in there yesterday to get some tobacco, $4.99 a gallon. I'm like, what the fuck?
You just might have to stop that dipping altogether because that money probably have to go into your tank there.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, if this is not successful, I mean, I'm going to be delivering until I die, man. But anyway, so today...
Oh, this will be a successful...
Today on my way over, to finish off my point about the price per gallon, $5.19 a gallon. So... if it jumps another 20 cents tomorrow, it'll be basically a whole dollar.
Within the span of a couple days.
$1 more per gallon in a week. Maybe a little over a week, but still, you get my point. And that's pretty much the runner's report. Let's get you talking a little bit, Devil.
Yes. What do you want me to be talking about?
Well, go on the Devil's rant, And your first subject is rising prices. Now, I just discussed gas, so you can hit on that a little bit more for your emphasis. I know at certain points you have a longer drive than I do, and your car is a little older, so it doesn't get as great as gas mileage as me. So, I mean, but we kind of hit that with the hammer. So you can talk about the rising price of food, man.
Well, let's see. Bob, how do you think the price of food is going right now? Hit us up with that. Okay, that's good to know. All right, so poor Bob.
Bob, we're trying. We're
spot there.
The devil's trying to integrate you into the show slowly, but you got to speak up, man. I mean, do we need to move the microphone closer to you?
Embrace it, okay? Because you're in the den and you're going to be here. So let's suck it up and let's start talking. Okay, so the prices, everything's going to go up. It's a continuous thing. And all I could say is, for me, I don't even really acknowledge it because it's something that just is going to be. And me getting upset about isn't going to help that situation. Now, I do understand the concern with the runner and everyone else with gas, with food, with every other thing that we all have to pay. And it's becoming a difficult position. All I could say is if you can, if you're able to, try to stay out of debt.
Yeah.
And try to make sure you pay the bills on time if you're able to.
Yeah, you definitely don't want interest adding up on, say, a credit card or maybe a car payment.
And that's where I'm at right now, right? So,
well, it's a good thing that you own your vehicle. You're not still making payments on it.
Yeah, I'd be in a very, even a more negative position. And speaking of that, how amazing is it, the price of a new vehicle nowadays? I mean, it's remarkable how much a vehicle is to purchase new. And it's amazing to me that people are actually buying some of these vehicles with a car payment close to $1,000 a month. I don't understand how anyone could really afford that.
Well, I think when you were kind of doing a little research, off-topic research, that's when you discovered how much. I mean, was that an Escalade you were looking at?
Yep, I just for the heck of it got on the computer and was looking at Escalades, top of the line. I think it was totally optioned out. If I recall correctly, it was like $103,000, and that was for the longer Escalade. I don't recall the precise model of it, but it was. I was just curious and was looking at those. But it's amazing everything, right? So what do you do in a situation like that? You try to cut things back.
Yep.
You try to stretch things out.
Well, my mom, unfortunately, I don't ever know if I mentioned it to you. She's got a newer F-150, and the funny story about that is her ex-husband who passed.
Yeah.
He was always anti-Ford this, anti-Ford that. And then she goes and gets a Ford. And I'm like, the irony of it just kind of hit with me. I'm sorry to derail your thought train.
No, that's good. Well, if you don't know, if you're outside the country, F-150 is a Ford truck. Ford is a manufacturer, obviously. And, I think you buy what you like, what you think is the best value, the best vehicle that you choose to purchase for whatever you want it for. A lot of people, they don't like that manufacturer. Others, they love it. So
You've probably had some of your people where you work actually park that truck.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because she drives down there on occasion.
Well, there you go. But it's one of those things where
personal preference.
Yeah, exactly. And like your mother, if she wanted that Ford just because he didn't like it, cool.
No, I think
Or if she just likes it.
at the time she had, she still has it, but a travel trailer. It's like
Uh-huh.
a 18, 20 footer. But she was using that to tow it. But what the reason I brought it up in the first place is because her monthly payment on that is astronomical. I mean, this thing's got all the bells and whistles for a newer truck,
God. Yeah.
but oh man,
It's I saw a Ford truck a couple weeks ago and the thing is beautiful.
what about that Chevy long bed that we saw when we were getting lunch?
Yeah. That thing was sweet. That had to be what, late 60s?
Either that or early 70s,
right? Somewhere
yeah.
around there.
Yeah, but anyways, I mean, let's get back on track, man.
Okay, where are we on track? Hit
So
me with it.
you've always complained to me about your choice of diet. I know it's a personal choice, but you're like every time I get you on the phone, and you know maybe we're not recording, we're just joking around. You're like, can I eat something besides chicken? Tell the listeners about a little bit about why you choose it. I mean, it's a lifestyle choice. I know. If you've seen the devil back in the day, you know he was a larger guy. He's working on it. He's working hard, trying to eat clean and everything else. But every time I have him on his phone after he gets off of work, and I'm like, "Hey, you fixing your dinner?" He's like, "Yeah, I got it. I'm making it right now." And I was like, "Let me guess, you're having chicken." And so, Devil, just tell the listeners about your chicken experience.
Okay, here's the thing. I'm trying to learn how to cook. I'm trying to eat healthier. I'm trying to do all these things. Okay, so as I mentioned, budget's a little tight. I think we can all be in agreement with that. So when I go to the store, for me, the simplest thing to do is to buy canned chicken. You can actually buy it in cans. I'll buy cans.
Kind of like tuna, right?
Similar. Don't even get me going on the tuna, boy.
Oh.
Hurt me with that one.
That's another.
Good.
That's another subject.
Yeah. So I ended up going. Okay. I finished my white rice. Brown rice is healthier, so I typically eat brown rice, a ramen noodle, mixed vegetables, and chicken. All right, that's pretty much what I eat. I would say almost every evening.
So you would think our situation was reversed when it came to you being the devil, me being the road runner. Considering that every time I'm around you, it's like I think I have a bad influence on you because like tonight I brought over some pizza and some wings for us to have before we started recording. Last Tuesday when we got together, we went down to that Mexican restaurant and grabbed a couple fat ass burritos.
And we ate like kings, didn't we?
Oh yeah, we did. And then
feast.
And then on Friday, of course, we went and had breakfast together. And typically, your breakfast is what?
No chicken. I could tell you that.
That's right.
Damn right. So here's the thing. Okay, budget's real tight. I've been trying to stretch things out. So when I go to the store, canned chicken, canned mixed vegetables, I have the rice. If I'm able to find the ramen noodles, I'll get those and I'll eat it basically every evening because it's something simple, quick to eat. I typically don't eat until about 5 in the evening. Now, with that being said, if I don't feel that well or if I'm extremely hungry, I'll eat something probably around 10 a.m. So I'm trying to wait until I physically get back here 5, 6, 7, or 8 o'clock in the evening. Now, with that being said, as a runner mentioned, the pizza and the wings, that's a wonderful treat.
He doesn't do it very often. Don't
Try
get
not
me wrong.
to. Well, with that
this
being said,
this was my treat. And yes, he had wings, meaning chicken. But everybody should know that wings are the dark meat of the
it's
bird. So
still a damn
I know it's
part of
still
the
chicken.
Killing me with that.
Nobody forced you to have those. Am I
But
right?
they were so good, and they were there. So, with that being said, after we ate, what did we do? We needed some coffee.
Yep.
And then what else do we get? We got some cookies.
Yep. I'm saving mine for my trip home.
There you go. Get that extra sugar rush hitting you there.
All right, something different I wanted to try with you,
Yes.
Devil. I have the statement, it's not personal.
Like,
Give us an
personal?
example of, maybe something at work, a situation, circumstances, or whatnot, where maybe you don't absolutely, you don't necessarily respond to somebody either looking at you or staring at you or whatever. I mean, and you just don't respond, or you respond kind of negatively. And then the reason I had the statement, it's not personal, because I know you're a private person. I think I'm probably the only one besides your kids that have probably been in this apartment.
Yes.
So in the den. But yeah, just give us a circumstances or situation that kind of fits that statement.
Okay, well, I would say an extremely private person, which is interesting because, I'm on YouTube. I think I'm on Twitter. I think I'm on
Instagram.
Let's see. I'm trying to get on Facebook.
You're on
I'm
TikTok.
trying to get on Twitch. I'm on TikTok.
Rumble.
Yes. I'm trying to figure that thing out too.
Yeah, me too.
Patreon. Well, that's helping me, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all these, and the reason why I'm trying to get on all these is because once we figure out how to link the videos, right? I believe there's a system to where when I upload a video or we upload a podcast show, it should go to all those.
We want to link all of our content to our social media platforms so we can get more viewers, get more of you guys listening. And of course, we encourage you guys to share. If you find us interesting, you like listening to us, talk to your friends, co-workers, and say, hey, if you want to listen to some people talk about life events and certain funny subjects and things like that, dial them in. And we, of course, we appreciate you guys throwing us support out there.
Now, what's interesting with the smartphone, okay? Again, I'm very private, and I wanted the least amount of information, pictures, what have you, of me on any of this. Now, that being said, I felt it was very important. I felt that I'm being called to be there to help people going through difficult times, or just simply being there for people. And for me to be able to do that, I would have to be able to be out there on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, all these different platforms, apps, what have you. And speaking of that, I made the decision I need to have my own YouTube channel. I need to get the first video done and upload it. So it's been a continual progression. And Runner, I've been trying to get up with the technology, up to speed, and trying to learn as we're going. And it's been a very educational experience. And we do appreciate everyone's patience and understanding of where we are, because we're trying to get there. Now,
as far as the topic goes, Daredevil, Have you had circumstances where, say, you just walked away from someone and then later, like, we're like, man, that was a kind of a dick move. And later, went back to that certain individual you maybe had a run-in with in that unfortunate circumstance and be like, hey, it's not personal. I just didn't have the time to stand there and talk with you or whatever.
Oh yeah, I would probably say when I realized that I wasn't going to remain married, that she wanted to be single and 20 again and do what she wants, and there was no way of trying to salvage the marriage or the relationship. That wasn't really an easy time to go through. So I wasn't the most pleasant. I know this is shocking to you. The most pleasant individual to be around. Hell
hey,
yeah.
When I worked at the same place you did, you were nothing but nice to me.
Hey,
and
sunshine and butterflies, baby.
I appreciated it. I mean, my supervisors didn't appreciate how good we got along.
Well,
I think they just kind of wanted to isolate the section with, they didn't want different sections mingling, but that's beside the point.
So, to answer your question, yeah. But what I've been doing, once I realized, man, I'm being an ass, I shouldn't be like this. What I try to do is in the morning, I journal, I write down, even if it's a modest list of what I need to be addressing that day.
Yeah.
And then if I come back in the evening, the list is here. And it's something as simplistic as making your bed, taking the trash out,
getting the dishes done,
doing the dishes, yeah,
sweeping the floor,
things of that nature,
yep.
right?
Yep.
So with that being said, take time to stop and to reflect upon, okay, how was I today? How did I act? How did I respond to certain situations, certain individuals, and how should I be responding in the future? Now, with that being said,
you got somebody on the east side of the den or what?
I don't know, man. We might have to get Bob over there, be prowling around and take a little gander for us.
Yeah, you are kind of
see what the hell is going on.
You're behind the scenes, but we also, that security thing, Bob.
Bob the Buster.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brute, or we need to come up with a nickname for him.
Don't whisper.
That's right.
So
what like, for example, today I've had...
Sorry I interrupted you,
please,
but
go ahead.
Your neighbors on the east side made a lot of noise, so I just figured I'd chime in and ask you if you knew anything was going on.
As much as you do. That's pretty much it. So today I had one person come up, speak to me. I had a few of them. And what I've learned to do is, if someone comes up to you and they want to speak to you, give them your time. Be there for them. Listen to what they have to say. Engage them in the conversation, even if it's extremely brief. And if it is brief, go, I'm sorry, I need to go right now. This is what I need to do. It's good to see you. Hope you're having a good day. Because we're all dealing with things on varying levels and degrees. I don't know what's going on with this person's life. He may be going through a horrific time or not. Ran across another person, a similar thing. So when I was a kid growing up, I really didn't have, if you will, someone that I could just go up to and go, hey man, it's good to see you, and be comfortable with talking to them about whatever the case may be. Kind of goes full circle back to the channel, back to the podcast, back to basically what we're doing here.
Yeah. Okay, and so if you're ready to share some of your social media with the listeners, this is segment's called "Give the Devil His Due," meaning if you want to hit the devil up on Instagram, Twitter or whatever, and if the devil is comfortable sharing that information with you guys right now, this is his time to do it.
All right. I think, if I recall correctly, Runner, on Instagram, oh, let's see. It is, let's see, where are we? Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, I believe Patreon,
You gotta
Rumble.
you gotta give him your address, man.
Okay, well, I'm working up to it. All of that should be White Devil. Let me try to find the address for you. So we will have it. No, it's not that one either. I don't know where. And you'll see me because, there's not many that are as good looking as I am. Oh, thanks.
So it's going to be at White Devil.
White Devil 0.
Well, no, you have to use the at. So that's that little symbol. So that little, that little A with the circle around it?
Yeah.
That's an at.
Oh.
So that's part of your address.
Oh, there you go. At. Okay. At WD83 or 083. Well, hang on. That's not the.
No.
Let's just give the Gmail address.
Well, no.
Because it'll show the whole thing.
No, so if you want to send up the White Devil a message on Twitter, it's at White DE 0836 3858, and then you can immediately, he talks about the path as well from there. So, maybe down the road he'll have a link to the path directly from Twitter.
Now, the email address is wd86293@gmail.com. Right? So that'll be, obviously, you could send a message, what have you, and we could rock it from that point. But we are definitely moving forward. Bump it, baby. See, I'm still trying to figure that thing out too. So,
all right. So we promise you the listeners, that the devil and I will get our social media stuff out there sooner rather than later. And now it's time for the closing argument. Devil, any closing statements, arguments? Any thoughts about the show and what we actually talked about today?
I could say this. I've been trying to come up with some. I've been trying to come up with some better content and material to bring up to you. One thing that I want everyone to realize is that Runner and I, we work a lot of hours. After hours, we are here and we try to work on what we're doing together. Like right now, it's almost 8:40 in the p.m. Okay, and it's a long day for all of us. So if we skip a duration of time and we do not have any content out, and you're wondering what the hell is going on, just bear in mind that we do have personal lives. There are things going on. Though in saying that, it does not mean that you are not a priority in what we're doing or choosing to do. It just means that we're trying to get things lined up. We're working behind the scenes on trying to get things set, so in the future it would be easier for you to get in touch with both of us, right?
Yeah, I think the devil's point is the behind the scenes stuff, and as I stated at the beginning of this show, was a lot of the topics that the devil and I worked on. It was from Friday, so we could come here, sit down, review the subjects again, and then put it out there for you guys to listen. My closing argument is this: um, the devil's right. Him and I both work a lot of hours. Um, our focus is to make this work so we're not having to work as many hours. Him and I love getting together. We love having conversations, messing around with each other. Yeah, we can get serious on some topics, but we can also joke about others and even laugh on ourselves. But if we're the show that you want to listen to, please give us feedback. Give us some interesting and new ideas. I'd also like to mention that I will be doing my own individual podcast. It'll be more political leaning, so you kind of get an idea of me. Not going to go in there as the runner because that's for the Devil and I show. Um, it would be the Awkward Podcast, and we'll talk stuff political. We'll just talk funny circumstances, awkward situations, anything and everything is pretty much on the table. So if that's something you're interested in, please feel free to stop by and tune in. Tune in to listen. And by this time next week, I should at least have one episode out there. And also stay tuned for the Welcome to the White Devil's Realm. The story time with the Devil and I. And
Now, Runner, when you say that sometimes on this podcast we will be more lighthearted, joking around, other times we may be a little more serious and
I'm just saying
with things, but that's a good thing because we want to have some varying.
Yeah. No, that's one of the reasons why, and I mentioned this to you when I was setting this up on Friday, is I wanted to touch on the Ukraine because what's going on in Ukraine affects not only the people in Ukraine, not only the people in Russia, but the whole world.
No, so, I understand that.
So, like the Devil had mentioned before, if you got family members back there and you need you just need to take a break and not stress about it. Obviously, there's routes and channels where you can maybe find out about the condition of your loved one. But anyways, the Devil and I are here for you. We thank you for listening to the Roadrunner White Devil show. God bless and have a good day.